Welcome to some more 7 Days to Die. I am Video42 and I will be your zombie director today. And of course we are going to be looking at zombies, and specifically this zombie AI. Now the zombie AI has been a totally controversial area for a couple of alphas since Alpha 17, and they made a big change in how the zombie AI worked. It wasn't totally uncontroversial before then, but it's definitely gotten, well, more noise to it, a lot more discussions around it. Some people love the new AI, some people hate it. So if you enjoy these videos, why not leave me a subscription and like? Maybe comment in the discussion section below, that really does help me out. And I do appreciate everyone who has spent the time leaving comments, discussing, and of course subscribing and supporting the channel. But one of the things in Alpha 19 that I wanted to really check out is how does the zombie AI perform compared to, let's say, Alpha 18 or Alpha 16 in some general circumstances. Faced with certain scenarios, and we're going to do 3 here specifically, well actually more than 3, but 3 settings. We're going to have just a normal box. We're going to have a sort of a platform where I can stand above, and I'm probably going to go below ground as well. And we're going to look at over there where I put in a nice little steel box, but also I put an easier path in to see how the zombies react. So I often get, I often say that the zombies are very smart and really dumb, and people sometimes wonder about how is that even possible? How can a zombie be really smart and also really dumb? Well, the problem that I've seen in Alpha 17 and Alpha 18 is that the zombies has this super awareness of the block hit points, so they can find the easiest path into the player. You might say, well, that's good, right? It means that they will go for the easiest path. They will destroy the least amount of blocks to get to the player. Good, right? Well, not really. The problem with that approach that I have said, for a couple of years now, is that it allows the player to construct a base that takes advantage of it really, really simply. You basically have some walls, you leave an opening, and you know that the zombies are going to go through that opening all the time, every single time. And how's that beneficial? Well, you can imagine that I have a hole here in the middle, and then I have a drop trap here or something. So I don't have to really worry about the zombies bashing too much on the walls. They will do that a little bit because the majority of them will always go through the front gate. And that's where I concentrate all my defenses. I could have all my turrets, my dart traps, and what have you, blade traps and everything in one spot because I know I don't have to defend around it. And for that matter, I don't actually need to have the walls. If I put things up on a platform, well, it works just as well. No walls, just a path for the zombies to get to me or think they can get to me and just simply kill them. So we end up with really, really weird bases, as you've seen in Alpha 18 that I've constructed. But let's check out to see how does all this work in Alpha 19. I'm going to start with just planting out a few zombies. Let's see, is he... Nope, let's pause him a little bit there. Let's put out a few ferals, a little bit here and there. Alright, so you see the setting here. I am in the middle. I have detached the camera, so they will go after my player, not after the camera. Some people have commented about that as well. And I'm going to start the... Alright, let's see if I can get up a weapon and do some shooting. Come on. Alright, attract some attention here. They are running up towards me, and they are... Right, they seem to be gravitating against a couple of areas over here, which is nice. They're not all going to the same place yet. They are actually reasonably spread out, which is good. You want to have them spread out. You don't want everyone focusing on the same block, not simply because they get a zombie horde bonus, but because it looks really weird. So here, it looks actually all right. They are in 4 locations, which is not too bad. You might imagine that it probably should be a little bit better distributed. Okay, now they're starting to congregate just a little bit here. What happens if I just I do this, I move forward a little bit? Does that change anything? Now, they seem to be going the same way. Okay, so this looks reasonable. Okay, they are grouping up a little bit. And problem with grouping up, as you see, is that they sort of like these ones are jumping up on top of this one as opposed to doing something. They should probably avoid pathing up on top of each other if they don't really have to. They probably should be spread out here. So that's probably something that the Fun Pimps can work on. Have them spread out along the wall here as opposed to jumping on top of each other. Now, jumping is not a problem. It's good that they have that, but it wastes a lot of time where they really should be standing here and just bashing the wall. Now they're up here bashing, which is not as effective, and it just looks really weird that they are standing on, well, almost in midair, but on top of each other's heads. Alright, second scenario here. We have me up on a platform. Obviously, it's being held up by these steel pillars on the sides, and I have a bunch of zombies below me, and they're feral. So let me shoot just to get their attention, and let's see. Let's observe what happens. Okay, so some of them run to the middle and stand around. That's a bit weird. Some of them go to the sides, or most of them go to the sides and bash a little bit, but then they are still congregating in the middle. Alright, so I'm trying to shoot here just to make sure that they still aggro on me. Okay, so this is the same problem that we were seeing in Alpha 18 as well, and very similar to what was in Alpha 16. They still don't handle players above them very well. Let me see if I move a little bit. Does that make it better? Come on, if I move over here, let me make sure I don't fall down. Let me get closer to the pillar. No, that doesn't seem to work very well either. That's a bit of a pity. I really hope that they would have fixed this. But FunPimps... Oh, we saw that drum magazine was floating in the air. But anyway, because I was holding it in the hand and you can quite see that. So this is a problem. They really need to fix this one. I don't know why it's like that, because it doesn't seem to have gotten better in Alpha 19 as well. What a pity. It's getting a little bit dark here because I started a Blood Moon Horde. Oh, don't you just love that view though? Oh, come on. That is such a beautiful Blood Moon Horde view. Anyway, so I've started Blood Moon Horde. Some people had suggested before that if it was a Blood Moon Horde, I would be having different zombie AI behavior. So let me just try that out then. Let me see. Don't you just love the... Oh, let me do that. Don't you just love that vomit acid thingy that they have got going in Alpha 19? Let me see. So they are bashing on the side. The trick is going to be to see, are they going to make it over here, or are they going to keep bashing on the side? Because that's really the critical piece. So far, so good. They are sort of inching towards me, but then they seem to go like, no, 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 this is not good. Let's see, can I lure them over here? What if I go... Okay, now some of them might be, but they might be going for the other one. Okay, there's some change here. You definitely see less of them standing around in the middle and more going for the pillars. So someone has suggested that the AI is different in Blood Moon Hordes as they are for the regular Hordes or regular zombies, and there seems to be a little bit of difference actually. Less standing around. There is a little bit of, there's sort of an inkling. You see the cop is there, but the rest of them seem to be trying to bash the supports. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Why does that work differently for regular zombies as it works for the Blood Moon Horde zombies? Maybe because they're all feral? It is a little bit peculiar because they all obviously know that I'm up here. Well, at least this is good. They should be shifting this kind of AI over to the regular wandering zombies as well, so that they behave a similar way, because this is better. This is definitely better. And since we're at it, we might as well try... What if I'm below here? So I am below here. Yep, I am some distance below. Let's see. If I start up the Blood Moon Horde again... Alright, let's see what happens. A couple of them know I'm down here. And are they digging? A little bit, but actually less than an Alpha 18. That is really weird. I wonder if it's because they're all trying to get to right above me. And unless they're right above me, they will not be digging down. Oh, sorry. Sorry guys, I happen to have shot the cop and he decided to explode. Sorry. Okay, so this is a huge difference actually. In previous version, Alpha 18, I believe 17 as well, they would definitely dig down. Here, I mean, they're doing a little bit of a digging, they're taking occasional swings at it, but most of them are not. So they're not actually mining down very fast at all. So they seem to have maybe fixed the Blood Moon Horde situation where the player's above them, but somehow they must have messed up the digging. Well, it could be on purpose. It could be on purpose, but it's definitely not as effective as before. I mean, previously they would basically just dig down a bunch of them and they would reach me really fast. So this is maybe something that they need to work on. They need to work on their digging ability. Alright, so let's try this again with just regular zombies, no Blood Moon Horde. And they actually seem to be digging a lot more. Wow, that's really weird. Is it because there's... Let me see if I spawn in a bunch more. You see, let's get some Irradiated and Feral and something like that. Do they get the same behavior? Similar behavior. It seems like when there's just a couple, they might be trying to bash more, but the more they get, maybe because they're really bumping each other out of the position that they would want to dig, but they're definitely digging more now than they were during the Blood Moon Horde. But it could have something to do with that bumping issue that they actually bump. But yeah, no, you see here, this is what would happen during the Blood Moon Horde war previously, where they would actually dig a lot faster. You see here, well, they're definitely digging here, trying to get to me. And let me get up here, and you'll see that. Oh, right. Run away. They're definitely following me. I can run in third person. It's not so easy, actually. So this is something that they've changed then. They have some differences in how the Blood Moon Horde is acting and how the regular Horde is acting. It's really weird that all of them are not following me. It's not like they wouldn't know about me. Well, maybe some of them actually didn't. Interesting. So that's something we're going to have to test out further, but it does seem like their digging during the Blood Moon Horde is less. Okay, time for the last test here. So what would happen in Alpha 16 would be that the zombies would congregate at a couple locations, the one that is closest to me, meaning that over in this corner, let me shift a little bit closer to here as well. And they wouldn't necessarily go for the reinforced concrete at the front. In Alpha 17 and 18, they definitely would, because they calculate the easiest path in. You'd see most of them going to that place, and that obviously is a huge change. So now let's see, how does this appear on the Alpha 19 version? So I'm going to shoot there once. Alright, so this is very similar to what you're seeing in Alpha 18 and Alpha 17. They know that this path is the easiest, so they all congregate here. And again, this is one of the main problems I have with the AI. If they just remove that, I would be quite happy. Because, well, beyond the fact that he can get across, which doesn't really matter. Can I? Alright. He's just bashing at me. They shouldn't be able to tell, because this is the mechanism that allows you to very simply guide them in. You can see they don't do any damage to the rest. They're simply going here. So you could imagine that the rest is just concrete. You have a wood block in front or something, or just an open path, and they will always go there. You know they're going to go there because they don't care about the rest of this. So it doesn't really have to be very strong, but you can guide their path in, and it's really interesting. Oh, they've been pushing me around. I was wondering what was happening here, but they've actually been pushing me around while I've been talking, and that's why the AI is a little bit weird now, because, well, now I'm actually inside the block. But never mind. Let's forget about that. So I wish they would do something to take a look at that shortest, less health point path, and sort of look more towards how it was before, where they would take the shortest path that was open, and if there wasn't an open path, they would just go to it closest they could and it would start bashing there. I think that would make a lot more sense, and it would make it look a lot more natural. This way, it just allows us to control the zombies so effectively, because we can dictate and direct the zombies and tell them where to go. So to recap a little bit here. Fairly similar to Alpha 18, there does seem to be some issues with the zombies still being on top, at least when it's not a Blood Moon Horde. And there seems to be some issues when the player is below. When there is a Blood Moon Horde, they seem to behave slightly better when it's just regular zombies and not a Blood Moon Horde. Because they will dig down to you a little bit more, but maybe there's just that bumping issue that is preventing them from minding down to the player during the Blood Moon Horde, and that's a bit unfortunate. It might be good for players, but it looks a little bit weird that they won't be able to handle that scenario anymore. But maybe that's a relatively simple tweak or fix for the bump imps to actually put in. But what do you think? Should they change the AI? And if so, how should they change it? We might not all agree on how this should be done, but I love to hear people's suggestions for how to tweak it, how to change it around, how to make it a bit more zombie-like. At least now that I'm looking around here, beyond the zombies that are standing on top of each other, it looks pretty nice. They're sort of wandering around, but that's because they don't know about me. As soon as they know about me, well, they all go to the same location. That's it for me. This was Vedui 42, and I will see you again next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the Vedit community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.